Welcome to Audiobooks. Immerse yourself in the world of stories, ideas, and knowledge, all through the power of audio.
Book title: Nobody Cares, Work Harder. Chapter 1: Breaking Point, The Moment of Awakening. Every journey of transformation begins with a single, undeniable realization. Something has to change. For some, this realization creeps in quietly, like a whisper in the back of the mind. For others, it comes like a storm, sudden, chaotic, and impossible to ignore. Whatever the form, this breaking point marks the beginning of a new chapter in life, the moment when you finally decide that staying the same costs more than stepping into the unknown. Recognizing when life demands change. Signs often show up long before we acknowledge them. You might notice a persistent sense of dissatisfaction, a nagging feeling that you're meant for more, or a deep exhaustion that no amount of rest can fix. Perhaps you wake up each day feeling like you're living someone else's life, trapped in routines that no longer reflect your true self. These moments are not coincidences. They are inner alarms. Your mind, body, and spirit are signaling that the life you've been living is no longer sustainable. If ignored, these signs can manifest as anxiety, depression, or burnout. But if embraced, they become powerful catalysts for change, a call to rebuild from the ground up. Understanding the cost of staying the same. Many people fear change because it feels uncertain, but what they often overlook is the hidden price of remaining the same. Staying stuck doesn't just delay growth, it erodes your potential. It keeps you reliving the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, and carrying the same frustrations year after year. The cost of staying the same is not measured in dollars or possessions. It's measured in lost dreams, missed opportunities, and untapped potential. It's the silent ache of knowing you were capable of more, but chose comfort over courage. It's the regret of looking back years from now and realizing that nothing changed because you didn't. Ask yourself, what is it costing me to stay as I am? My health? My happiness? My peace? My purpose? When the price becomes too high, change stops being optional. It becomes necessary. Emotional triggers that push you to rebuild. Often, it takes a moment of pain to spark transformation. A relationship ends. A job is lost. A dream collapses. These experiences may feel like breaking points, but in reality, they are turning points. They strip away illusions, forcing you to face who you've become and who you truly want to be. But emotional triggers don't always come from dramatic events. Sometimes they arrive in quieter ways. A sudden realization that time is slipping by, that life feels flat and uninspired, or that you are living on autopilot. These moments may not feel explosive, but they are equally powerful. They whisper, "It's time to wake up. It's time to rebuild." The courage to acknowledge the truth. The first step towards transformation is honesty, the willingness to admit that the life you've been living is no longer enough. This can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront reality without excuses, but courage begins where denial ends. You don't need to know every step of the journey yet. You only need to admit that a new one must begin. That single decision to no longer accept what no longer serves you has the power to change everything. Why this is the beginning, not the end. Reaching your breaking point is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It means you are awake enough to see that something must change and brave enough to face it. Many people go through life numbing themselves, ignoring the voice inside that says, "You are meant for more." But you are different. You are ready to answer the call. This chapter is not about dwelling on the past. It's about claiming the future. Your breaking point is not where your story ends. It's where your greatest chapter begins. Chapter 2: The Art of Self-Audit. Transformation does not begin with action. It begins with awareness. Before you can rebuild yourself into the person you are meant to become, you must first understand who you are right now. This is where the process of self-audit comes in. A deep, honest examination of your habits, choices, beliefs, and environment. Without it, you risk building a new life on the same foundation that created the old one. Why self-audit is essential. Imagine trying to renovate a house without inspecting its structure. You might paint the walls and add new furniture, but if the foundation is cracked, the improvements won't last. The same is true for personal growth. You can read motivational books, attend seminars, or set ambitious goals, but unless you know what's holding you back, change will be temporary. Self-audit forces you to ask difficult but necessary questions. What's working in your life? What isn't? What habits are helping you grow, and which ones are keeping you stuck? This level of clarity transforms vague desires into actionable plans. Taking inventory of your life. Begin with the simple exercise. Write down the core areas of your life: health, career, relationships, mindset, finances, and personal growth. Under each, list what feels aligned with who you want to become and what feels misaligned. For example, for health, do your daily habits support energy and vitality, or do they drain you? For career, are you working toward meaningful goals, or are you simply surviving? For relationships, are the people around you supportive of your growth, or do they hold you back? This inventory is not about judging yourself harshly. It's about identifying the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Identifying what serves you versus what sabotages you. Every action, thought, and decision you make either builds your future or breaks it down. The challenge lies in recognizing the subtle patterns that sabotage your progress. Maybe you procrastinate because you fear failure. Maybe you avoid difficult conversations and settle for relationships that drain you. Maybe you sabotage your health with late-night stress eating or excessive screen time. Ask yourself, does this habit bring me closer to my ideal life? Does this choice honor who I want to become? Would the person I want to be make this decision? When you start filtering your actions through these questions, clarity becomes inevitable. The power of brutal honesty. Self-audit demands one quality above all: radical honesty. It requires looking in the mirror and admitting where you've been settling, avoiding, or self-sabotaging. It means owning your role in creating your current reality, not to shame yourself, but to reclaim your power to change it. This is why journaling is such a powerful tool. Each day, write down your thoughts, habits, and emotions. Over time, patterns will emerge. You'll see which choices elevate you and which ones drain your energy. If journaling feels unfamiliar, start simple. Write down 3 questions each evening. 1. What did I do today that made me proud? 2. What did I do that I'd like to improve? 3. What one thing can I do better tomorrow? Small reflections like these lead to big revelations. Feedback from trusted sources. Sometimes we're blind to our own habits. That's why outside feedback can be invaluable. Ask a close friend, mentor, or coach to share their perspective on your strengths and weaknesses. Listen without defensiveness. The goal is not to defend your old self, it's to uncover the areas where growth is necessary. Laying the foundation for change. A proper self-audit does not just reveal what needs to change, it reveals what is worth keeping. Not everything about your old life needs to be discarded. Identify the habits, skills, and values that still serve you, and carry them forward. Everything else must be restructured or removed to make room for the person you are becoming. Chapter 3. Destroying the Old Blueprint.
Before you can rebuild, you must first dismantle the structure that is holding you in place. The patterns, habits, and beliefs that shaped your old life cannot create a new one. They belong to an outdated version of you, a version that was doing its best but operating with limited awareness. Destroying the old blueprint isn't about erasing your past. It's about breaking free from the mental and emotional framework that no longer serves you. Why your old mindset can't build your new life? Imagine trying to build a modern home on the crumbling foundation of a centuries-old house. No matter how beautiful the design, it won't last because the base is weak. The same principle applies to personal transformation. Your old mindset is rooted in past experiences, fears, and learned limitations. It's the collection of rules you've unconsciously lived by. Rules like, I'm not good enough to succeed. People like me don't achieve big things. Change is risky, so it's safer to stay where I am. These beliefs have acted as invisible walls around your potential. If you want a different life, you must first tear down these walls. Letting go of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are like outdated operating systems running in the background of your mind. They dictate your decisions, shape your confidence, and determine what you believe is possible. The first step in letting them go is to identify them. Take out a journal and write down the recurring thoughts that keep you stuck. Then, challenge each one. Ask, is this belief absolutely true or just something I've repeated to myself? Where did I learn it, and does it still serve me? What new belief could I adopt to replace it? For example, replace I'm not good enough with I'm a work in progress and I improve every day. Replacing a belief may seem small, but it can change the direction of your entire life. The psychology of release and reinvention. Letting go is not just a mental process, it's emotional. It requires you to release the attachment to who you've been. Many people struggle with this because their identity is tied to their past roles, mistakes, and versions of themselves that no longer fit. One powerful exercise is writing a letter to your old self. Thank that version of you for surviving everything it did. Acknowledge that it carried you this far. Then tell it you're ready to step into something greater. Burn the letter, shred it, or place it in a box. This symbolic act creates a sense of closure and freedom. Making room for the new. Once you release the old blueprint, you create space for new habits, new beliefs, and a new identity. This is where the rebuilding begins, not by adding more, but by clearing away what doesn't belong. It is only when the old foundation is cleared that a strong, lasting structure can rise.
Chapter 4. The Power of Mindset Reset. Transformation begins in the mind, long before it shows in your life. Your thoughts shape your decisions. Your decisions shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. If you want a radically different life, you must first build a radically different mindset. A mindset reset is the process of rewiring how you think about yourself, your potential, and the world around you. It's about replacing outdated, limiting thought patterns with empowering ones that align with the future you want to create. Why your mindset determines your destiny. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant, whether weeds of doubt or seeds of belief, will grow and take root in your life. If you've been living with a mindset shaped by fear, scarcity, or self-doubt, you've unconsciously designed a life that reflects those beliefs. Consider two people with identical skills and opportunities. One believes success is possible, the other believes it isn't. Who is more likely to take bold action? Who is more likely to give up at the first setback? The difference isn't talent, it's mindset. Rewiring thought patterns. The first step in resetting your mindset is becoming aware of your inner dialogue. What do you say to yourself when no one is listening? Do your thoughts fuel courage or feed fear? One powerful exercise is to track your self-talk for a week. Notice how often you use phrases like, I can't. This always happens to me. I'm not the type of person who... Each of these statements reinforces a fixed identity, a version of yourself defined by limitation. To reset your mindset, replace them with empowering alternatives. I can't, yet but I'm learning. This is a challenge, but I've overcome others before. I am becoming the type of person who can handle this. The role of belief systems. Mindset is not just about positive thinking. It's about building a belief system that supports growth. Ask yourself, what do I believe about success, about failure, about my potential? If your beliefs tell you that success is reserved for the lucky or privileged, you'll never fight for it. If you believe failure is fatal, you'll avoid risks that could change your life. But if you believe that every challenge carries a lesson and every setback holds a gift, you'll see obstacles as stepping stones. Daily mental conditioning. Rewiring your mindset requires consistency. Just as physical exercise strengthens muscles, mental conditioning strengthens belief. Here are 3 daily practices to reset your mind. 1. Affirmations. Speak powerful truths about who you are becoming, not who you've been. Example, I am capable of change. I am building a stronger version of myself every day. 2. Visualization. Each morning, picture yourself living as your rebuilt self. See it, feel it, and believe it before it becomes real. 3. Mental diet. Guard your mind like a fortress. Limit exposure to negativity, whether from media, toxic environments, or destructive self-talk, and replace it with empowering content, ideas, and people. Building a growth mindset. Psychologist Carol Dweck defines 2 primary mindsets, fixed and growth. A fixed mindset says, this is who I am, I can't change. A growth mindset says, I can learn, adapt, and evolve. Adopting a growth mindset means seeing challenges as opportunities, not threats. It means measuring success by progress, not perfection. And it means embracing failure as a teacher, not a verdict. The shift from surviving to thriving. When you reset your mindset, you move from surviving to thriving. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, how can I grow from this? You stop defining yourself by your past and start building yourself around your potential. This mental shift doesn't happen overnight, but each day you train your mind, you strengthen the foundation of your rebuilt self.
Chapter 5. Vision Crafting. Designing your new self. Rebuilding yourself is not just about leaving the old behind. It's about consciously creating the new. This requires more than vague wishes or half-formed goals. It requires vision, a clear, compelling picture of the person you are becoming and the life you are determined to live. Without vision, you wander. With vision, you build. Why vision is essential. Think of vision as a blueprint for your future self. Builders don't start construction without a plan. Pilots don't take off without a destination. Yet many people attempt to change their lives without defining what that change should look like. When you have a clear vision, every decision becomes easier. You know what aligns with the life you want and what doesn't. You stop wasting energy on distractions and start focusing on what moves you forward. Creating a future identity. Vision crafting begins with defining your future identity, the person you are rebuilding yourself to become. Ask yourself, what does the best version of me look like? How do I think, speak, act, and carry myself? What values guide my decisions? This is not about who you've been. It's about who you are choosing to become. Write a detailed description of this future self, as if you were introducing them to someone else. Include how they handle challenges, how they treat others, and how they live each day. Visualization techniques for self-reconstruction. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools in crafting your new identity. Professional athletes use it to improve performance. Entrepreneurs use it to manifest success. Top performers in every field use it to train their minds before their bodies follow. Here's a simple method. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and picture yourself living as your rebuilt self. Imagine the details, your environment, your habits, your energy, your confidence. This practice reprograms your subconscious mind to believe in your future identity. making it easier to take actions that align with it. Goal setting beyond surface-level desires. While vision provides direction, goals create movement. But not all goals are created equal. Many people set surface-level goals, lose weight, make more money, be happier, without defining what those goals actually mean or why they matter. To make your vision real, set specific, measurable, and meaningful goals. Instead of saying, I want to get in shape, say, I will exercise 5 days a week and run my first 5K in 3 months. Instead of saying, I want more money, say, I will save $5,000 in the next 6 months by reducing expenses and increasing income streams. Attach every goal to a deeper purpose. Ask, why does this matter? How will achieving this shape my new identity? Goals tied to vision and purpose create lasting motivation. The emotional pull of a compelling future. Facts and logic guide us, but emotion drives us. Your vision must not only make sense, it must make you feel alive. If your future doesn't excite you, it won't inspire you to endure the discomfort of change. One way to strengthen this emotional connection is to write a future self statement. Example, I am becoming a person of discipline, strength, and integrity. I live with energy, purpose, and peace. Every choice I make today builds the life I desire tomorrow. Read this statement daily until it becomes a part of your identity.
Chapter 6. The Discipline of Daily Habits. Big transformations are not built on occasional effort. They are forged in the small, repeated actions you take every single day. Habits are the building blocks of identity. They shape not just what you do, but who you become. If you want to rebuild yourself, you must master the discipline of daily habits. Why habits matter more than motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It rises and falls with your mood. But habits? They are automatic. They don't rely on willpower because they become part of your identity. If you wake up and exercise every morning, it's not because you feel motivated every day. It's because it's simply what you do now. Likewise, if you eat healthy, read consistently, or practice mindfulness, it's because those actions have become part of your lifestyle, not just part of a temporary plan. Breaking old habits. Before building new habits, you must identify and eliminate the ones that no longer serve you. Start by asking, what daily actions are keeping me stuck? Which habits are draining my energy, focus, or confidence? For some, it's constant social media scrolling. For others, it's procrastination, negative self-talk, or neglecting sleep. Write these habits down and identify their triggers. Do you scroll because you're bored? Do you procrastinate because tasks feel overwhelming? Awareness is the first step to change. Building growth rituals. Once you've cleared space, begin installing habits that align with your future self. Start small, success compounds. Instead of committing to an hour-long workout every day, start with 10 minutes. Instead of reading a book a week, read 10 pages a day. Small wins build momentum, and momentum builds transformation. Key areas to focus on. Morning rituals. Begin your day with intention, gratitude, exercise, journaling, or visualization. Evening rituals. End your day with reflection. Review your wins, note lessons learned, and plan for tomorrow. Keystone habits. Identify 1 or 2 habits that trigger positive changes elsewhere. E.g., regular exercise improves energy, mood, and focus. The role of discipline. Discipline is the bridge between desire and reality. There will be days when your old self whispers excuses. Just skip today. You deserve a break. It won't matter if you don't. But discipline is not about doing what you feel. It's about doing what your future self will thank you for. Making habits stick. Behavioral science shows that habits stick best when they are obvious, easy, rewarding, and consistent. Keep reminders visible, e.g., leave your workout clothes out at night. Start so small it feels impossible to fail. Celebrate progress, no matter how small. Anchor new habits to existing ones, e.g., meditate after brushing your teeth. Identity over outcome. The key to lasting change is to focus on identity, not results. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, say, I am becoming a person who values health. Instead of saying, I want to save money, say, I am the kind of person who manages money wisely. When you shift from doing to being, your habits become who you are, not just what you do.
Chapter 7. Emotional Mastery. Rebuilding yourself is not just about thoughts and actions, it's also about mastering your emotions. How you respond to stress, setbacks, and triggers determines whether you rise or fall. Emotional mastery is the ability to feel deeply without being controlled by your feelings. It's the difference between reacting impulsively and responding with intention. Why emotional mastery matters. Emotions are powerful. They can motivate or sabotage, inspire or paralyze. Without control, even the best habits and intentions can unravel. Anger can ruin relationships, fear can prevent opportunities, and frustration can stop progress. Emotional mastery doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means understanding, regulating, and channeling them productively. Understanding your emotional triggers. To master emotions, you must first know yourself. Identify the situations, people, or thoughts that provoke strong reactions. Ask yourself, what triggers stress, anger, or anxiety in me? How do I usually respond to these triggers? What patterns repeat in my emotional reactions? Awareness is the first step toward control. By recognizing triggers, you can prepare yourself to respond rather than react. Techniques for emotional regulation. 1. Pause before responding. When faced with a trigger, take a deep breath, count to 10, or step away. This pause creates a space between stimulus and reaction. 2. Label your emotions. Name what you feel: anger, disappointment, fear, frustration. Labeling emotions reduces their intensity and gives you clarity. 3. Reframe situations. Shift perspective by asking, what can I learn from this? Or how can this challenge help me grow? Reframing transforms obstacles into opportunities. 4. Practice mindfulness. Meditation, deep breathing, and mindful observation of your thoughts help you stay present, reducing overreaction to past regrets or future worries. Turning emotions into fuel. Emotions don't have to control you, they can propel you forward. Anger can ignite determination, fear can sharpen focus, and sadness can inspire reflection and growth. Emotional mastery is about harnessing your feelings instead of letting them hijack your life. For example, instead of lashing out in frustration when a project fails, use the energy to analyze what went wrong and plan a better approach. Instead of letting fear stop you from pursuing a goal, let it highlight what matters most and prepare you to act. Building emotional resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks. Emotional mastery strengthens resilience by training you to face discomfort without collapsing. Techniques include daily reflection. Review your emotional responses and identify patterns. Journaling. Write freely about your feelings to release pent-up emotions and gain perspective. Gratitude practice. Focus on what's positive to counterbalance stress and negativity. Over time, resilience becomes habitual. You learn to face challenges without panic and to navigate conflict without losing your center. The connection between emotions and identity. Your emotions shape your identity. If you allow reactive anger, constant fear, or self-doubt to dominate, you reinforce the old version of yourself. Emotional mastery aligns feelings with the person you are becoming. When your emotions support your vision and habits, every choice becomes intentional, every action becomes powerful, and your rebuilt self becomes consistent across every area of life.
Chapter 8. Rebuilding Confidence and Self-Worth. Rebuilding yourself isn't complete without reclaiming your confidence and self-worth. Confidence is not arrogance, and self-worth is not entitlement. They are the internal foundations that support every choice, habit, and action. Without them, even the best strategies and habits can falter. Why confidence and self-worth are critical. Confidence is your belief in your abilities, while self-worth is your belief in your inherent value. Together, they determine how you show up in the world, the opportunities you pursue, and the boundaries you set. Low confidence leads to hesitation. Low self-worth leads to compromise and settling for less than you deserve. Rebuilding yourself requires strengthening both. Breaking free from fear and self-doubt. Fear and self-doubt are the silent thieves of progress. They whisper, "You're not ready," or "You can't do this." To reclaim your confidence, you must first recognize these thoughts for what they are, mental habits, not truths. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have that this belief is true? What evidence shows I am capable and deserving? How would my rebuilt self respond to this fear? By challenging these thoughts, you weaken their control and strengthen your inner voice. Building confidence through action. Confidence grows from consistent action, not wishful thinking. Start with small, achievable wins and build momentum. For example, complete a task you've been avoiding. Speak up in a meeting or conversation. Take responsibility for a project and follow through. Each action reinforces your belief in your ability to succeed, gradually replacing fear with assurance. The role of self-worth. Self-worth comes from accepting yourself fully, not based on accomplishments, approval, or external validation. It's the understanding that you are valuable simply because you exist. Practical ways to strengthen self-worth include affirmations. Repeat statements such as, "I am worthy of love, success, and happiness." Boundary setting. Protect your energy by saying no to toxic people and situations. Self-compassion. Treat yourself the same kindness you'd offer a loved one. When self-worth is strong, confidence follows naturally. Overcoming comparison and seeking validation. Comparison to others and seeking approval are major obstacles to rebuilding confidence. Social media, past experiences, or toxic relationships can make you feel inadequate. The key is to focus inward. Measure progress by your own standards, not by anyone else's. Ask yourself, am I growing? Am I aligned with my vision? Am I honoring my values? If the answer is yes, external opinions become irrelevant. Practices to strengthen confidence and self-worth. 1. Daily wins. Track small accomplishments each day to reinforce belief in yourself. 2. Visualize your best self. Imagine how your rebuilt self acts, speaks, and feels, and then model your behavior accordingly. 3. Positive circle. Surround yourself with people who uplift, challenge, and believe in you. 4. Reflect on past successes. Recall moments where you overcame challenges. It proves your capability and resilience. Living with confidence. Confidence and self-worth are not static. They are cultivated. They require daily attention, reflection, and practice. As you rebuild yourself, these qualities become the backbone of your transformation, empowering you to take risks, make bold decisions, and claim the life you are building. When you strengthen your confidence and self-worth, you are no longer a passenger in your life. You are the driver. You make choices from power, not fear. You act from belief, not doubt. And every action aligns with the vision of the new you. Chapter 9. Body as a Foundation. Rebuilding yourself is a holistic process. Your mind, habits, and emotions play crucial roles, but without a strong physical foundation, transformation remains incomplete. The body is the vessel through which your goals, dreams, and actions are executed. Treating it as an afterthought undermines everything else. A healthy, energized body supports focus, resilience, and confidence, the very elements needed to reconstruct your life. Why physical health matters in rebuilding yourself? Your body is intricately connected to your mind and emotions. Poor health drains energy, clouds judgment, and fuels negative self-perceptions. On the other hand, when you feel strong and vibrant, you naturally exude confidence, clarity, and determination. Physical health is not vanity, it is empowerment. A strong body makes challenges feel manageable, provides stamina to pursue goals, and reinforces the belief that you are capable of change. When you honor your body, you reinforce the message, I am worth investing in, and I am capable of transformation. Building strength through movement. Exercise is more than just burning calories. It is a practice of discipline, focus, and commitment to your future self. Regular activity improves mood, reduces stress, and enhances mental performance. Start simple. Cardio, walking, jogging, cycling, or swimming for energy and endurance. Strength training, bodyweight exercises or weights to build resilience and confidence. Flexibility and balance, yoga or stretching to improve mobility and reduce injury risk. Consistency matters more than intensity. 10 minutes a day done consistently outweighs a sporadic 2-hour session once a week. Nutrition as fuel. The foods you eat are the fuel for your transformation. Processed foods, excess sugar, and poor hydration sap energy and cloud thinking. Whole foods, balanced meals, and proper hydration support mental clarity, emotional stability, and sustained energy. Focus on protein. It supports muscle growth, repair, and satiety. Vegetables and fruits. They provide vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Healthy fats. They nourish the brain and support energy. Water. Maintains performance, focus, and vitality. Small, consistent changes in diet have a cumulative effect on your energy and overall well-being. Rest and recovery. Rebuilding is not about pushing harder, it's about balance. Sleep and rest are essential for physical and mental recovery. Chronic sleep deprivation impairs decision-making, reduces motivation, and increases stress. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Power naps if your schedule is demanding, or rest days in your exercise routine to allow your body to recover and strengthen. Mind-body connection. Your physical state influences your thoughts and emotions. Regular exercise releases endorphins, reduces anxiety, and builds mental resilience. Proper nutrition stabilizes mood and improves cognitive function. Recovery practices like meditation, stretching, and breathing enhance both physical and emotional well-being. When your body and mind work together, transformation becomes sustainable. Creating a routine that works. To integrate body care into your rebuilding process, start small. Introduce one habit at a time, such as a 15-minute walk or daily water goal. Schedule it. Treat workouts and meal prep as non-negotiable appointments. Track progress. Note improvements in energy, strength, or focus to stay motivated. Adapt over time. As your fitness and habits improve, increase intensity or explore new activities. Consistency transforms the body just as it transforms the mind. The foundation for a rebuilt life. A strong body underpins all aspects of transformation. It allows you to endure challenges, execute plans, and embody confidence. Treating your body as a priority reinforces the belief that you are worthy, capable, and ready to build the life you desire. Your physical state sets the tone for your mental state. The more you invest in your body, the more capable and empowered you feel to rebuild yourself fully.
Chapter 10, Relationships and Environment Reset. Rebuilding yourself is not just an internal process. It also requires assessing the people and environments that shape your life. Your relationships and surroundings act as mirrors and amplifiers. They can either lift you higher or hold you back. If your goal is transformation, you must take control of both. The influence of relationships. People influence your habits, mindset, and self-belief far more than you may realize. Some relationships inspire growth, accountability, and positivity, while others drain energy, reinforce old patterns, or encourage self-doubt. Ask yourself, who in my life supports my growth and vision? Who consistently brings negativity or drama? Which relationships challenge me in healthy ways, and which ones hold me back? Identifying these dynamics is essential. Toxic relationships can subtly erode confidence, distract from goals, and prevent personal progress. Setting boundaries. Boundaries are the protective walls of your rebuilt life. They signal to yourself and others that your time, energy, and vision are priorities. Setting boundaries does not make you unkind, it makes you disciplined and self-respecting. Practical ways to set boundaries include limiting time with negative or unsupportive people, saying no to requests that drain your energy or conflict with your goals, communicating expectations clearly and respectfully. Boundaries create mental space for growth and allow relationships that matter to flourish. Curating your environment. Your surroundings have a powerful, often underestimated influence on your mindset. A cluttered, chaotic, or uninspiring environment can reinforce stress and lethargy. Conversely, a space that reflects your values and vision encourages focus, creativity, and energy. Steps to optimize your environment. 1. Declutter. Remove physical and digital clutter that distracts or drains you. 2. Create inspiration. Surround yourself with items, colors, or symbols that reinforce your goals. 3. Organize for efficiency. Ensure your spaces are functional and support productivity. 4. Choose your circle wisely. Spend time in spaces with people who encourage growth and challenge you to improve. The role of support networks. Rebuilding yourself doesn't mean isolating from others, it means being intentional about your support systems. A strong network provides encouragement, guidance, and accountability. Mentors, friends, or communities aligned with your vision can accelerate growth and help you navigate challenges. When choosing mentors or role models, look for people who exemplify the qualities you want to cultivate in yourself. Learn from their successes and mistakes, but remember, your journey is unique. Breaking free from negative influence. Sometimes, distancing yourself from harmful people or environments is necessary. This can be challenging, especially when tied by family, work, or long-term friendships. But growth requires courage and clarity. Prioritize your goals and mental health above maintaining connections that hinder your progress. Remember, removing toxic influences is not about punishment, it's about preservation. It's a declaration that you are serious about your transformation. Building a positive ecosystem. Once you've reset relationships and environments, intentionally cultivate a positive ecosystem. Surround yourself with motivated, disciplined, and supportive individuals. Engage in communities that inspire learning and growth. Create physical spaces that energize you, encourage focus, and reflect your vision. A well-curated ecosystem acts as a multiplier for all the habits, mindset shifts, and goals you are developing. The long-term impact. Resetting relationships and environments is not a one-time act. It's an ongoing practice. As you evolve, revisit the people and spaces in your life. Ensure they continue to support your journey and align with your rebuilt identity. Your environment and relationships are extensions of who you are. Change them and you reinforce the new version of yourself. Neglect them and you risk being pulled back into old patterns.